OK, let's take a look at England then and the handover that Carsley will be preparing for Thomas Tuchel. What do you think he's going to be focusing on, Mark?
Yeah, I like the clipboard. Will it be a PowerPoint presentation, a Word document? Will they chat across lunch in the pub?
Big document, yeah.
Big document with information. Yeah, Carsley said he'll present his thoughts to Tuchel in a few weeks' time, covering all 3 international windows, obviously 5 wins in 6. The future of the national team is actually looking really good. Carsley named 37 different players across the 6 squads. And obviously they ended with their 2 most positive performances, 5-0 and 3-0. And that's despite 10 withdrawals and injuries to the likes of Kobbie Mainoo and John Stones. Obviously, what Lee Carsley has done is he's showed that the players coming through the system are good enough to play for England. Harwood Bellis captained Carsley's England under-21 Euro winners, and 8 of that squad played in these matches. Levi Colwill, Curtis Jones, Angel Gomez, Noni Madueke, Cole Palmer, Anthony Gordon and Morgan Gibbs-White. And some of those players in the 8 England debutants under Lee Carsley, you can see Angel Gomez, Noni Madueke, Morgan Gibbs-White, Curtis Jones, Morgan Rogers, been brilliant for Aston Villa. Lewis Hall, quite amazing that he is a full England international after that weekend. Tino again at Newcastle, Taylor Harwood-Bellis struggling with Southampton, but showing he's got a lot of quality as a defender. So great to see players getting the opportunity, young players coming through. He's had a real balance of youthful energy and some of those experienced wise heads as well. I think generally performances have been really, really strong under Lee Carsley.
So a lot of new faces, but does that actually make the selection process a bit harder for Tuchel?
I think it's always difficult, always tough, because you've got to get 11 players when you've maybe got a squad of probably 25, 30 that are all capable of being an England starter. And you've seen that over the course of these last 6 internationals. You've got players that perhaps you wouldn't have expected to get in the side that have actually got into the team because of injuries and withdrawals and played really well and showed actually they can compete at the highest level. They're deserving of being in this England squad, and not just deserving of being in the squad, but actually maybe starting games as well. And we know how much attacking talent that Lee Carsley has at his disposal as well. Of course, that will be one of the big focuses, the attackers. It was an issue for Southgate and Carsley, but of course, how do you get the best out of those big names? We know in that Greece game that Carsley played all those attacking players. The best players were on the pitch, but the balance of the side just wasn't quite there against Greece. It just didn't work. That may help Thomas Tuchel, as he won't have to necessarily take that gamble again. You also have to remember that this squad had no Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish. So what happens when those players come back into the setup? It's more headaches for Thomas Tuchel. In terms of the appearances, these are the appearances under Lee Carsley. Anthony Gordon made 5, Harry Kane 5, Noni Madueke 5 as well. Obviously Jude and Jaron with 4, Jack Grealish, Bukayo Saka, Ollie Watkins, and there were 5 other players that all made a couple of appearances as well. So a few familiar names that you'd expect to see, but also a few players that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see playing that many games for England, getting some match action as well. So he has given a real nice mix-up to that squad that he's been selecting. So I think it all is just sat nicely for Thomas Tuchel, but he has got a lot of headaches.
Headaches?
Well, with regards to selections.
What about talking points off the pitch?
Yeah, this is really fascinating. I think you have to read between the lines here. Now, Gareth Southgate's tenure saw a change in mindset in the squad. Everyone happy, everyone behind the manager. There was a real good culture about England. And there was a suggestion that some of the players, and that was actually lost, particularly in this camp. Now, Kane's comments on the withdrawals I find quite interesting. Before the Greece game, Kane used pre-match news conferences to voice his displeasure about withdrawals from the squad, saying England comes before club. And he followed that up by urging the culture not to be lost. Now, this is what Harry Kane said to ITV. Building that culture takes time, and it can be lost quickly if you're not careful. But we're very aware of that. Lee has done a fantastic job, and I'm sure Thomas will bring his own ideas and create his version of what this team should be. So, yeah, I think it's really interesting the way he used that opportunity in the media to talk about the culture, the togetherness, and the fact that the country comes before the club.